Welcome back to Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway. It's the final race now of round 4 of the Australian GT Championship, thanks to Comply Space. Third and final race of the weekend for the Comply Space Australian GT Championship, round 4 at Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway. And the boys bagging them up there, warming up the rubber. Luke West joins me in commentary, and Christian de Gosten giving us expert comments on what it's like from a driver's perspective around this circuit. Well, John Caius, his confidence would be boosted enormously. And Christian, I would think that confidence plays a bigger role in racing than most people realise.
Yeah, big confidence, big brakes, big engines really help at Eastern Creek. It's a big, fast track, and that turn 1 really is takes a lot of driving.
Here we go, race 3, another rolling start. Caius gets the jump, and with 1 race win to him, 1 to Lucas, this race will decide the overall weekend winner.
How about Eddie's start just then, Luke? He just screamed after second, and in fact, it was not the best of starts for the Aston Martin of Hackett in all that. Big lock-up then from Bargwanna. And how about the Lamborghini? What a great start for Eddie.
Yeah, so the first time this weekend we've seen Bargwanna, his Elise, ahead of the fellow Lotus of Lucas.
Watching in the back there to see the GT Challenge guys, also the lone GT production driver of Poulton. Great to have him in the series and really taking the lead to bring new cars into that category. The Lamborghini is desperately trying to fight off the more nimble Lotus as we watch Ross Lilly from his perspective on board the Lamborghini Gallardo.
Look at that little Lotus there, top stuff. Remember, it's got half the weight of the Aston Martin, 1/3 the engine capacity, 1/3 the number of cylinders.
Which one would you rather be driving, Christian, at this particular point?
Mate, my hat's off to the little Lotus. They are a fantastic little package this weekend, and even on a big, long track, I just fear for the guys when they get on the shorter tracks later in the year that they're actually going to be left for dead.
So for the first time this weekend, Caius is out front at the beginning of the race. We know that car comes on strong over the course of a race, so he's looking good. I would imagine he's relaxed, he's confident. He's just going to put the head down there and just tick off the race laps.
Once again, though, we're just watching the way the car corners, particularly coming out of the turns, and he really, whoa, not quite that wide. Christian de Gosten, he really has to allow Caius, that car, to run almost freely and let us have its head.
Yeah, that's a big track, a big car on a big track, and just notice Caius has obviously found some of his qualifying form. He did a 1:32 in qualifying, and obviously he's popping up to that pace because he's pulling quite a little bit of a gap on the Lambo and the Lotuses.
So meantime, Caius out in front. That's good news for him that Mark Eddy in the Lambo in second place is having to defend. So while he's defending, he's not putting his head down, the Lambo driver, to try and eke out that, or scratch that gap from first to second.
Now, Luke, you've been around racing a long time. You know that these guys have been making changes between races, as we see once again Bargwanna up the inside. In fact, the Lamborghini gets absolutely pack-rumbled by the Lotuses, those little cars. Magnificent performance here. Eddie, he couldn't do anything about that pass. You have to think with Hackett, they're making changes every race to try and get more out of it. Perhaps they've gone the wrong way towards the end here. It's not quite the package it was early.
They're still learning this vehicle. When they took it to Phillip Island, they didn't even know that was Phillip Island for a test session. They didn't even know how to turn the car on. It's not like you can go to the glove box and pull out the guide, the owner's manual, so they had to get on the phone to try and find out some of the things.
You'd think that for the price tag, there'd at least be a driver's manual, Christian?
Yeah, you'd think so. I'm really impressed by these Lotuses. They just absolutely ambushed the Lambos and bolted. They're off after Chaos now and going to hunt him down. But Chaos has got quite a decent lead on the straight. But get a little bit of a race here between the Lambos and the other Aston now. Still losing a little bit of top-end speed to the Lambos is Hackett. But look at these Lotuses. They're just absolutely in a class of their own today. And if Chaos is not careful, they're going to hunt him down.
Well, like a couple of pygmies, aren't they? Just trying to rustle up a hunter or two. Hunting in packs, second and third place.
Well, it's an unbelievable analogy, Luke. I'll go with it because you've come out with it. But you see the Lamborghinis together, Eddie, and running very hard. Right in there behind him was Lilly as well. Over the top of the hill, the Lamborghini's in a straight line. Look out, Hackett now starting to get restless. The candle's fully lit on the Aston Martin. Big rear wing, giving them plenty of downforce. In fact, likewise with the Lotuses, using plenty of aero to get all the drive down. Hasn't Lucas been a revelation this weekend, Christian? Forget the car. Lucas is right on the money.
Yeah, and that's a very, very sexy little move there going into that very slow corner. That's you have to have your wits about you going into there. That's a great move, and obviously got a little bit more turn in, a little more drive out of the corners. I think he'll pull away from the barbed wire now.
So having a look at the replay, and Lucas, our race 1 winner, gets down the inside there. So now got to put the head down, see if he can get that gap to the man in front out.
How much of a pass is bluff in that situation, Christian, where you make a very deliberate move, you show the other competitor, I'm coming, look out. How much can you bluff in that situation, or do you have to be fully committed?
That was an absolutely full commitment pass, and hats off to Bargwanna there. He saw him coming and gave him enough racing room, even though you saw the dust come off the tyres from the yellow car that he actually had. He was right on the edge of the track, and Bargwanna did the right thing there, and obviously he did get the good drive, and now he's actually a bit slow, and the Lambos are back on the tail. He might have a bit of a problem.
Yeah, Mark Eddy's starting to gobble him up. Eddy raced in the Aston Martin Asia Cup earlier, and those guys will, as meantime, we have a look at Graham Cook goes down the inside of Greg Ward. So that is the battle for GT Challenge honours.
Wow, it was Cook and Burke before, now it's Cook and Ward, so he's certainly lively, the South Aussie, up the inside. I love that. I hope he didn't scratch the car with that barbed wire. It's good on the side.
It really says stay away from me, doesn't it? That little band halfway up the door sill there. Meantime, Cook goes after Angelo Lazarus and his Lotus Exige.
Crash Ice having a pretty good run here at the moment, overcoming those clutch issues that they had early in the weekend. Now, this will be big. What can Cook do in that race moves 91 car as he comes up behind the Lotus? Over the top of Corporate Hill. Pretty even matchup, these two cars, you would think.
Yeah, let's hope Cook can get past the little Lotus without crashing into that as well, because we noticed in race 2 he bumped into Burke, unfortunately, only lost it by himself, and unfortunately Burke was unable to contend the third race, but that Porsche's got a bit of straight line speed on the Lotus.
Just to finish off my earlier point about Mark Eddy, raced in the Aston Martin Asia Cup. He's being gobbled up now by fellow Lambo driver Ross Lilly. We'll see a number of those Aston Martin Asia Cup drivers coming out to race in the Australian GT Championship later in the year with the reciprocal deal that's going on. Meantime, Peter Hackett starts to get racy with the two Lambos.
Yeah, that was a great move by Lilly. He's just slowed Eddy up to put now Hackett on the back wing of the Lambo, and hopefully Hackett can keep it all together and try to get a bit of a slipstream and get past the Lambo.
So on board, this is a replay of how Ross Lilly got down the inside of Mark Eddy.
Great to see Comply Space right behind this championship. John Stewart, a real character that loves his motor racing, is often a larger-than-life personality through the corporate areas of the sport, and certainly thrown his company's support right behind the Australian GT Championship. Rebirthed, relaunched, and certainly rocking here at the Creek. Chulin, well, that was just far too easy for John Chulin.
Gets around Richard Kimber there. Kimber goes down the inside. His battle is not over yet.
No, it's an interesting matchup between the Porsche and the Ferrari here. Wow, that was just a little wide there, Christian.
Yes, I think the Porsche had the eyes on the Ferrari, and John Chulin gave me a little wave of thanks through, or he was waving to someone in the crowd, I'm not too sure, but Chulin's stepped up the mark now. He's trying to get back to where he probably should be, up with the faster cars.
Krashos there, some of the red machine behind John Chulin. Chulin raced in the GT Classic with Stephen Johnson at Sandown last year.
Mr. Limousine, Anthony Caceres back there in 7th, just behind Hackett, and Eddy in the top 5. Cook rounding out the 8. The P-plates on the back of some of these cars, is it a similar sort of prohibitionary sort of stage or probationary stage for these cars, just like it is on the road?
Well, we are at a racetrack, but yeah, the guys just have to do a certain amount of races before they can actually go into a full licence, and just gives the other guys out there knowing that they, hey, I haven't been out there that long, just keep an eye out for me because I'm new to the sport, and it's just one of the things you've got to do when you start racing, like when you learn to drive on the road.
They also need to keep it clean and get a signature, don't they, off the stewards at the end of the race weekend. So they're pretty much under the microscope. There's Caceres, Mr. Limousines, number 77, and have a look at Cook now dragging back that white and black Porsche.
He's probably got his eyes absolutely glued to the mirrors, because Cook has been a lively customer, to say the very least. The Mr. Limousine car looking to stretch that advantage. Oh, Cook way loose just there. Plenty of horsepower in his Porsches, Christian.
Yeah, that's just a common trait there. He's got on the power a little bit too early on that off-camber corner and just steps the back out, and obviously race 3, getting towards the end of the race, he's just running out of rear tyres, and obviously the rear engine car, the top engine's over the rear axle, and the tyres are just chewing their little heads off.
The yellow car there is the RSR machine, so a thoroughbred racing machine, more heavily developed than the machine in front.
Good battle going on here in this GT Challenge section, which of course features Krashos, Ward, Kimber, Burt, Caceres and O'Halloran and Cook. Simply Sports Cars entry of Tim Poulton. The Lotus Exige S is out there, the Sydney side of New South Welshman. We see Bargwanna running in the Kira Pack number 31 car. He, of course, is in the GT Championship side of things with Ted Hughlin, Peter Hackett, Mark Eddy, Ian Palmer, who was supposed to be here, Bargwanna, Stevens, who had issues, Lilly, Chaos, Chulin, Lazarus, and, of course, the lively Peter Lucas. Guys, we're seeing that the tyres are starting to really cop some beating now, Luke.
Certainly are, and we can see that with the late afternoon Sydney winter happening, so those lights are coming on and it's starting to get a little bit darker here at Eastern Creek.
When track conditions cool off like they probably are at this point, Christian, how different is the car as we see Cook having a look at the Mr. Limousine entry?
Oh, look, as soon as the tyres get up to temperature, you're pretty right. As long as you don't put the temperature in the tyre, like it's not a safety car, the voice will be right. But Will Cook, she's got another look down the inside there. Oh, that's a 50-cent piece, and maybe able to nip up the inside, and oh, no. Nearly got through, but geez, that tyre won't be in any good shape for the rest of the race.
Cook will have noticed that, so he can now just expect to get even better car speed than the man in front and gobble up that white Caceres machine.
Chulin having a pretty lonely ride there in the industry central Ferrari, back then to that beautifully turned out Lotus, the 98 car of Angelo Lazarus in the GT Championship side of things. Up the inside!
It's Richard Kimber on Greg Ward. That is for the lead of GT Challenge.
I don't know, do you think the Mr. Limousine entry of Caceres is a little nervy right now?
Yeah, I would be. That yellow car is trying to poke itself down holes that don't even exist.
Meantime, final lap now for our race leader, John Caius. He's just cruising in front. Meantime, there's Tim Poulton in the 97 car. He's in the third of the classes. That's GT production. A number of entries will join him in that third class in the Australian GT Championship. Oh! So there's Scott Bargwanna looked to go down the inside of that GT production car class, but then just had to back out of it and lost momentum, and around Scott Bargwanna went.
Yeah, just had the door closed on him there, and obviously got off the power on the brakes, and then off camber corner, got on the power again, and just stepped the car out sideways, and he was just the passenger there.
Big year of racing for Scott Bargwanna. Mini challenge competition, also the occasional run in the Australian GT Championship. Meantime, just a couple of corners from home, it's Captain Caius, John Caius, who's heading for not only his second race win of the year and the weekend. If he can get over the line, he'll win his first ever Australian GT Championship round.
And you know it's going to be party central around this pits. Well done, John Caius. He will be thrilled with this, and not only wins it, he runs it home through the big sticks. That's a massive win. Caius victorious here in the final race, should wrap up the round as well. You just see then Lucas running hard. Everyone's got the candles on. There is the Lilly entry just ahead of Hackett, who's got some learning to do, but hasn't it got some potential. Next one through, that's actually Poulton just going through there, and Bargwanna following him through. The checkers fall on this one in terms of a GT Championship battle, but look at the race going on for the challenge finish.
Yeah, there's the white and blue car of Greg Ward. He's going to get over the line in front of Richard Kimber. So the race win and the round win in GT Challenge goes to the Carrera Cup Asia driver, Greg Ward.
Checkered flags fall. Caius the winner overall and should wrap up the round win. Lucas second, back to Lilly, Hackett, Eddy, Bargwanna, Cook and John Chulin in 8th.
Very exciting day. It's been fantastic. The car's been just really stable. I know the circuit quite well, and great teamwork, and it's just been brilliant. I've just been getting faster and faster.
Times don't drop off for the car, just gets quicker and quicker. You set your fastest lap there at the end of race 3, right at the end.
I think the driver was just getting angrier and angrier, actually. I was just trying to actually get a 34-second lap, so I think I was just pushing a bit harder as well, and the fuel weight was coming down, but it was just, the car's very stable.
We had a great day, a couple of seconds and a first, fantastic.
And what was the secret to your win?
I think today, consistency. We weren't the quickest always, but very consistent. A lot of action on the track, as you saw, and lucky to get through.
Now, there was plenty of scrapping, as you've mentioned, through the field. Your experience in Carrera Cup Asia, has that helped you?
Absolutely. Carrera Cup Asia, it's all a bit of a smash-up derby, really. They race very hard there, but here the guys are good racers, and it was pretty clean, but very tight racing.
It's been just a fabulous weekend. We've been really looking forward to this weekend coming with the championship, having a bit of a downtime since the Melbourne Grand Prix. And we just couldn't wait to get out there. And we've been out this weekend. I've done the fastest time I've ever done. Actually won a race and come second overall for the weekend. So we're really stoked. The car's been awesome. The crew are just a fabulous bunch of guys. Been working really hard, and they've got the car just really sweet. It's great.
So congratulations to John Caius wrapping up the round for GT Championship and overall. Lucas in second spot, Hackett, Eddie, Lily, Bargwanna, Chulin and Lazarus rounding out the